afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Yep, okay. It's exciting to be here in Singapore. This is my first time at the Singapore FinTech Festival, and it's awesome to see all the builders and enterprises and users of the broader FinTech ecosystem and the broader banking ecosystem and the crypto ecosystem all come together for a few days. Before we dive in, I want to take a moment to introduce myself and Paxos and make sure Manuel gets to introduce himself. So for those of you that don't know, I am Ronak Daya. I'm the head of product at Paxos. Paxos is a regulated blockchain infrastructure company that works with the largest enterprises in the world, making it easy and seamless for them to participate in the blockchain economy. We issue stablecoins and power infrastructure for some of the largest players in the world, including PayPal, Nubank, Mercado Libre, Stripe, and others. And today, we're going to talk about stablecoins, and in particular, how USDG, a new stablecoin that we issued last week, is going to sort of drive the next wave of adoption for enterprises. But before I do that, let's take a second for Manuel to introduce himself. Manuel.
Thanks, Ronak. Hi, everyone. My name is Manuel Andreani. I lead the banking solution team at Anchorage, particularly focus on stablecoins within the Anchorage Digital platform. Who are we? Anchorage Digital is an institutional platform that has digital asset services across custody, trading, staking, and on-chain governance. We have been founded in 2017. Our main investors are Goldman Sachs, KKR, Visa, GIC, and we have been very excited to be a partner in the launch of the Global Dollar Network.
Awesome. Excited to be here today for this launch. We'll go into the details of what USDG and GDN, the Global Dollar Network, as you see up here, are. But before I dive in, maybe let me see if with a raise of hands on how many people here know what a stablecoin is? I'd say like 20%, so maybe it's worth spending a second explaining what stablecoins are.
20%, of which probably 10% is the Paxos and Anchorage team, because I see that t-shirt.
So maybe let's take a second to explain what stablecoins are. Stablecoins are dollars or other fiat currencies that are represented on the blockchain. Imagine if you could have a dollar, but with the speed, the efficiency, and the transparency of the blockchain, while maintaining sort of its stable value. I think everyone here knows of cryptocurrencies. But cryptocurrencies obviously have, traditional cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum have a major challenge in being used for payments and money movement because they are volatile. The value changes. And with stable coins, what they do is take a dollar or any other fiat currency and represent it on the blockchain. A key value proposition of a stable coin is that it maintains its one-to-one value every single time. So you could have one USDG in this case, redeemable for $1 at any given moment in time. Let me next sort of introduce the concept of what we're building with USDG and GDN. So GDN is a new open network that is meant to accelerate and reward global stablecoin adoption. It's powered by USDG. USDG is the stablecoin that we introduced, and the network is Global Dollar Network. The network brings together the world's leading enterprises in Robinhood, Kraken, Anchorage, Galaxy, Bullish, Nuvei, Paxos, and a bunch of others to the table to all come together as a network to drive and accelerate the adoption of stablecoins for real use cases. We're obviously here with Anchorage, and we'll go into the details of sort of how Anchorage viewed USDG and GDN. But maybe let me just take a couple of minutes to walk through why sort of we created this asset and the network. The stablecoins have seen a massive increase in market cap over the last few years. Today we have $170+ billion of market cap in circulating supply of stablecoins. But while that has happened, the primary use case is still around sort of crypto on and off ramps, and there's a big hurdle for enterprises to come in and start using stablecoins for actual money movement use cases. The hurdles that they face typically are that today enterprises don't receive any of the economics for driving adoption of the stablecoin. So today, if you and your company comes in and starts using an existing stablecoin, you don't get paid anything for it. But there are economics to be had which are typically kept by the issuer. And I think what is needed to drive the next wave of adoption for actual money movement and payment use cases is for these economics to be shared. To get economics, the only way an enterprise can sort of partake in the value proposition that they're helping create is by creating their own stablecoin. But creating a stablecoin that has the prudential regulation, the broad sort of adoption, and has a chance at becoming a market leader requires a lot of effort. And we're seeing that today, as I mentioned at the very beginning, the stablecoin industry is driven by sort of a few use cases. But for stablecoins to go from $170 billion to the trillions of dollars that we all anticipate over the next few years, we're going to need to expand the number of use cases for real business-to-business and consumer-to-business use cases around the world. And for that, you need enterprises to all come to come to the table. And so that's why we've created Global Dollar, USDG, and the Global Dollar Network to accelerate this adoption. What we've done is, in the Global Dollar, we've created an asset that is fully backed and redeemable one for US dollars. It's issued by Paxos, who has issued other prudentially regulated stablecoins like PYUSD and USDL. And USDG is substantially compliant with MAS's upcoming stablecoin framework. And so you get the prudential benefit that enterprises can now trust that their dollars and their customers' dollars are safe. But stablecoins at the end of the day are networks, and we're bringing together a network of partners that all benefit from the economics of the stablecoin while coming together to drive adoption. Unlike other stablecoins, this is a new approach where anyone who participates in the growth and adoption of the stablecoin benefits from it. It's an open network that anyone can join. While we can keep going on this, I'd love to sort of dive into Anchorage and touch a little bit on it. Manuel, maybe tell us a little bit about sort of how Anchorage has generally and more broadly thought about stablecoins and the role of stablecoins and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the institutional space, we feel like the stablecoin arena has been, as Ronak said, right, really set for disruption at this point. We've had obviously multiple options, but a lot of concentration at the top in terms of issuance. And so what we have felt as Anchorage is that there wasn't really the right solution and the scalable solution for the ecosystem, in particular the institutional one, with then the end retail clients to really thrive. And so we decided to be part of USDG and the Global Dollar Network because we felt like we wanted to, one, have an incentive alignment with our other partner ecosystem. So as Ronak mentioned, Anchorage Digital is a platform that now is being remunerated and incentivized to have USDG being distributed and adopted on the platform. The other important thing that we have seen is there is a network that is needed in order to really grow the stablecoin adoption exponentially. And having partners that are very well diversified across different ecosystems, not just crypto, but also fintech and traditional finance is critical. And the network component of the Global Dollar Network is unbelievably important. And then the other important piece is that having a partner like Paxos that is managing the issuance in a trusted and regulated manner across the globe was also an important component for us to decide to participate in the Global Dollar Network.
Thanks. You obviously have an OCC charter in the US and value regulation. Tell us a little bit about how you thought about the stablecoin and how the importance of regulation and how you think about your use cases and how your customers think about the value of regulation and how they perceive stablecoins.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Anchorage has a very strong history from a compliance regulatory perspective. We always felt from the beginning, where we were founded, that we needed to work with regulators, build with regulators, in order to really create sustainable and long-term solutions. So we have the one and only OCC, so the Office of Controller of the Currency, bank charter federal bank charter in the US. We also recently announced our MAS license here in Singapore, given our presence. And so the regulatory framework for us is super important to really find scalable solutions. And so it wasn't obviously a choice for us to be part of a network that wasn't keeping the highest standards from a regulatory and compliance standpoint, and the Global Dollar Network does, so it's very important. In particular, what has been demanded by our institutional clients, which are the largest asset managers in the world, the bank, the VC firms, what we call crypto innovators as well, so the protocols and foundations, what has been demanded from them is that they want solutions that are scalable and sustainable over time. And the way to do that is to have regulated and compliant solutions like the Global Dollar Network.
Thanks. For the audience here, obviously now that you've integrated and are starting to use the Global Dollar, maybe touch on what are some use cases that are benefited because now you have a stable coin that you can adopt and drive, trust and drive adoption for.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of institutional adoption in the crypto space, as well as retail adoption, I think what we have seen is a lot of the activity is related, obviously, to settlement, right? As well as trading. We feel like that these are very two important use cases that we definitely want to keep developing, and I think the Global Dollar Network is set up for that. But another one that a lot of our clients have been demanding for, which I feel like it's also the core of a stablecoin really mandate or goal, is to facilitate safer, faster, and peer-to-peer payments. And therefore, our clients have been asking more and more, in particular within the business line that I lead, Banking Solution, is to be able to pay in stable coins their day-to-day expenses, as well as any type of transaction that needs a settlement of fiat. And so having a stable coin that it's really, as I said, trusted, efficient, that has the right user experience, because also that is something that has been quite challenging with the current stablecoin ecosystem. I think importantly, clients want to be abstracted away from some of the complexity that is there. So working on the user experience, working on enhancing the use cases with the right partners that's what we're focused on.
Cool. We'll do one last question. Maybe we'll make it rapid fire in the interest of time. If you could magically wave a wand and have 2 or 3 things come to life that drive broad stablecoin adoption, such that everyone in the audience here knows about stablecoins and is using them, what would those be?
So I would start with imagining a world where, my mom and my dad in a little town in Italy are able to effectively use the same payment network and payment system that a sophisticated asset manager or hedge fund in Singapore or New York uses, right? So the ability to bridge that gap and differences, right, between the normal retail people across the globe, not just in Italy, but really like an emerging market as well, versus the more sophisticated financial ecosystem. It's what I'm imagining the world of stablecoins to be. And how do we get there? We get there by having stablecoins like USDG, right, that have the right set of partners, the alignment of incentives, the absolutely critical user experience, and in particular, the ability really to close these differences and the gaps, right, that there are right now between, regular payments for regular people versus sophisticated institutions. And even if we serve sophisticated institutions at Anchorage Digital, our goal is really to imagine this world a few years from now where, our same clients and retail folks use stablecoins for payments.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Would love to answer any questions related to USDG. We have a booth in Hall 2 with a bright green USDG logo, so stop by if we can help answer any questions. You can also go to globaldollar.com to find more information, and thank you for your time and attention.
Thanks, everyone.